Welcome to Tools, Tech, and Gear. I'm Seth. Featherstone just sent over the ultralight two-person Peridot backpacking tent. Let's pull everything out of the stuff sack and then we will set it up and see how it looks. This is just a first look video. Later on I'll have a actual in-use video, so perhaps link to that in the description down below. The stuff sack seems to have plenty of room to fit everything inside. Go ahead and pull that. One thing I like is it has a tab on the bottom. Makes it easy to pull that off. Has one of these plastic clips with some webbing, so easily holds everything together. Let's go ahead and get this rolled out a little bit. This is the ground cloth. We'll open that up. A bag of stakes with some guy lines, the pole, and then you've got the fly and then the tent body here. So this whole thing together weighs 4 pounds and 11 ounces. Let me kind of give you the specs real quick as we proceed here. Sleeping capacity 2-person, floor 84 inch by 51 inch, vestibule length says 6 inch, peak height of 43 inches, minimum trail weight 4 pounds 2 ounce, pack weight 4 pounds 11 ounce, 2 doors. It has one hubbed aluminum pole, freestanding. The canopy is 20D ripstop sil nylon, and the floor is 40D ripstop sil nylon. The bag that holds this is super lightweight. I like that a lot. I know some people will remove the bags to save some weight, but that right there is so close to nothing that I think I'll definitely keep that with me. So there's your guy lines, and then here are the pegs or stakes. They do have a bit of a taper on them to help you push them into the ground. And then they are notched up here at the top so that whenever you put a line to them, it won't slip off, which is really nice. 12 of those all together. Set those over. Let's open up this hubbed pole. Is that it has one single pole, but it's connected with the hubs. And then this right here is the ground cloth. A lot of times I don't bring a ground cloth with me, but it's so nice that they include this here. And that is very thick. I like that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up, see how intuitive it is. I'm gonna set the tent body and the fly over here for a moment and lay out the ground cloth. The ground cloth is shiny on one side. I'm gonna put that down towards the ground. I'm not sure if that's the right orientation or not. The other side is less shiny. Each corner has one of these aluminum clips on it, which I'm assuming lets you put a pole into this hole here, and then you could also stake this out if you needed to. We're supposed to get a rainstorm here in a little bit, so might be a great opportunity to test out how waterproof this tent is. Now it's recommended that the ground cloth be staked out. We may have to do that here in just a moment. I wanted to see what would happen if you didn't, because it does mention that it's optional. It is a single pole that has these hubs, and that just means you can clip all the pieces together and the pole will only be able to assemble in one orientation here. To help hold up the doors, it's got these side pieces right here. I'm going to start down here on this end, and I'm going to put that pole through both the tent and the ground cloth. I believe that's the way it's supposed to go. Now to get the tent up onto the poles, there are these plastic clips. I'm just going to get each of those snapped onto the pole. To hold open the sides, you have to pull this pole down and attach it into this little loop right here, just like that. And now it's going to hold itself up just like this. The tent is freestanding, but I'm still going to go ahead and put some stakes in here to make sure it doesn't blow away tonight in the rainstorm we're supposed to get. The pole design gives a lot of headroom inside, which is really nice. And it seems to be rather taut, which is also a good thing. The clips up here at the top seem to be holding a good bit of pressure behind them, especially this one, which is no big deal. And then this little design right here, where it has this rotating hub in the middle, is really cool. I like it a lot. One thing I'm noticing, the doors are really small, which is something I've not seen before. But they zip way up the top here, and then you can just zip around to right here, roll that up. But look at that. It's a nice small entrance. Kind of cool. All right, so let's go ahead and climb inside before I put the rain fly on so we can see what it looks like for me at 5'11" to lay down in this tent. Okay, let me open this up and climb in so you can get to see what it looks like for someone who is 5'11" to lay down in here. We'll roll this door back for a moment. There we go. So first thing, even if I were sitting on a camping pad, I still have 5 or 6 inches up here before I touch the top. I like that a lot. So if you're gonna read in here, you have plenty of room to sit up without hitting the top. So if I move over to the side over here, so I'm just now touching, so man, plenty of room in here to move about. So if I'm laying down with my feet about 5 or 6 inches from the far side and then lay down, hopefully you can see that. I still have about 4 or so inches here from touching the top. So more than enough room for somebody who is 6 foot to sleep in here. Now, if you were taller than 6 foot, you may have to make this a single person tent and sleep a bit diagonal. Okay, if we step in, the first thing you'll note is that the floor has the bathtub style, and it goes way up about 1 foot up the edge. So you will not have any issues with water getting in that way. Now I do see a single seam over here on this side. It's taped. Also, the corners that are reinforced have tape around those as well. So you can see it's got a nice seam up on this edge, and then also has a hook right here, one right here as well, one over here, and then each spot at the door has a loop. And the reason for that is that it comes with a gear loft. So you can take these toggles and just put that right there into that loop. Let's come over to this side. Now, one issue with using this gear loft is that it's going to get in the way of your hook up there, but you could just set something right up there and use that gear loft just like that. So one more time, just to show you, if I have my feet here pretty close to the edge and I lay down, you can see here I've got a couple of inches up top. Each side of the doors have these pockets to put things in. And there's one over there. Very cool. That is impressive to me because I use those quite often whenever I'm camping. Once again, there's a door on this side which you can open up. Now that we've seen the tent body, let's go ahead and get the fly on here because it is supposed to start raining soon. You can definitely tell the fly is a very thin material. You can even see through it pretty cool. So, all right, let's go ahead and open this up, get it up here. The attachment of the fly is kind of strange. It has another one of these holes where the tent pole is going to fit up into. So you kind of have to either put this up underneath like this, like that, or if it doesn't want to stay, which it's not wanting to, you can pull all this back out again and loop this under here and then do it back in there again like that. So it's a little bit different from what I'm used to, but I can see that it's practical. There are places right here on the side and also, of course, here at the door where you can get this fly stretched out with some stakes. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. This right here will definitely improve the ventilation, having this staked out a bit over here. So I'm just going to get that staked there. There's a window right here with a kickstand, so you can open this up, pull down the kickstand, which is just a tab, and that just holds this open for some more ventilation. I'm going to use one more stake here to prop open the fly on the door. Move this out a bit. There we go. Everything is finished now. Let's take a look at this with the fly on. Seems to be nice and taut. Hopefully will be good in the wind. I was looking to have some kind of tabs for where the pole sticks right here on the inside, but I didn't see any. We'll go inside and look to see if there was something, but I don't know if that's going to cause any issues in the long term. Now there are plenty of places where you can use those guy lines. Right there may just be a tab for the door to move back, but over here where it's got a little extra fabric to it, you can pull that out with some of those guy lines. I may not do that in this video, but you do have the option. Let's go ahead and open up one of these doors. So we've got a Velcro tab and then a zipper. Just zip this up to the top, and then that right there is a toggle. We'll be able to hold these back. There are reflectors on these little toggles, so if somebody's walking around at night with a flashlight, that will reflect for you. I don't see anything to keep that pole from touching the fly, so I guess it's going to be okay. Each corner of the fly has a little plastic tab. You can pull the webbing and tighten that up if you need to. Everything is now set up. It's looking really good. I like this tent so far. It's supposed to be rather windy tonight and also have some rain, so we'll be back tomorrow to see how well this thing has fared. I thought I was going to have to wait for tomorrow, but we actually just got 2 hours of rain. So let's go ahead and see how this tent fared and if any water got inside. So let me bring you up close here. You can see there's still a lot of water hanging out here on the fly. So it looks like the water did roll off right here, so the vent is plenty dry inside. Everything seems to still be nice and firm, so it hasn't really stretched out much. Let's go ahead and shake this and see if there's anything inside. Let me look inside here and see if I can find anything that's gotten wet. I'm not anticipating that. All right, well, I don't see any drips down onto the tent, so it's looking pretty good. Yeah, nice. So we can see now what those vents look like So there's not a whole lot of space there for airflow, but it's enough. Should help with condensation as well. Normally with a tent, I'll put the fly on top and roll things up nice and tight, but I just kind of did a messy job rolling it up to see how well it would go back in the sack, and it wasn't bad at all. The ground cloth sack may have been just a little bit small, but it stuffed in there no problem. So my first thoughts on the Featherstone Peridot two-person ultralight tent. I like the design a lot. It worked well in the rain. The way that the poles go into both the ground cloth, the tent body, and also the fly was interesting. I'd never seen that before. And so I actually found it easier to leave out the ground cloth, keep it staked in, but then just use the fly and the tent into the pole. That way you don't have to worry about having too many things stacked up in there. Anyway, they do fit. It's just a little bit of a squeeze to get it in there. It worked well in the rain, and it seems to do just fine as far as ventilation goes. If you'd like to check out the Featherstone Peridot two-person ultralight tent, I have a link in the description down below. I also will have a link whenever I go use this for an actual camping trip, and I can kind of give you my opinion on how well it worked and how well it packed. So being a little over 4 pounds, it's a little bit heavy for a single person, but whenever I do my ATV camping trip, it should be a good, nice, small, easy to pack tent. Thanks for watching. I'm Seth with Tools, Tech, and Gear, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.